Hi guys, a very warm welcome and namaste to you all. My name is Anu and I'm from the Google AdWords team. Really excited to be here and launch our festive season series. This is going to be a 4 session series and we'll primarily talk about remarketing, shopping, mobile and mobile apps. Before we get into the session and discuss any further details, as always, we have 3 housekeeping rules for you all. If you're facing any issues with the video quality, please try switching to 720 dpi from the bottom right corner of your screen. That will solve your problem. Secondly, at any point of time during the session, if you have any questions, please feel free to post it on our comment section. We'll have them answered for you. Thirdly, if you like the session, please like, share, and comment. Feedback is the key at Google, and we'd love to know how we did and what we can do better, right? Let's get into the session and see what we are going to discuss about. Let's look at the agenda for today. Before that, we know how important festive season is in India, right? People go crazy buying stuff. So that is why it becomes more and more important for businesses to capitalize on this thing and drive more sales. And that is exactly what we are going to discuss today. We'll discuss some best practices which you can implement within your campaigns and drive more sales. As simple as that. Okay, let's get going. So this is the agenda for today that we have. So we'll broadly discuss about what is remarketing, why is remarketing that important, what's in store for you when we talk about remarketing with Google, and then we'll go into the niche categories and discuss in detail as to how you can improve your campaign performance and share some tips with you and how you can win that second chance with remarketing, right? All right. So what exactly is remarketing? In a nutshell, this is nothing but re-engaging with your past website visitors. All right. So as simple as that. Just if user has come to your website, it's just reaching out to that user again. All right. But why is it so important? Why are we even talking about it today? That is why. Let's look at some statistics to help us know why. So we have found out that about 96% of the shoppers don't really make a purchase on their first visit to the website. And further to this, we have around 46% of the customers would want to visit, let's say, a 2 to 4 websites before deciding to buy anything. Now, both of these numbers are really huge. And more importantly, they give you an insight as to how the user behave when it gets onto your website or for the first time or while making a purchase, right? And that is why it becomes more important for you also to get those customers back to your website and carry out that purchase that they left, right? When we talk about remarketing with Google, this is what is in store for you. It gives you a 360-degree cross-channel all-device coverage, which lets you reach to your users exactly at the right time. And when we talk about performance, you can maximize your performance. You have auto-optimize tools to you at your convenience. For example, let's say the conversion optimizer that we have for bid strategies. It lets you tailor your ad to that specific user by creating customized text ads, display ads for more relevant campaigns. Apart from all these, it's very transparent and accountable because it gives you full visibility into what price you are paying and what performance you're getting out of it. All right. But before we discuss and go further into remarketing and all the tips that we have for you, it's really very important to set up your site and enable remarketing. How you do that is you have 3 options. You just tag your website. You have 3 options for that. We have Google Tag Manager in case you don't really have a tag right now on your website and you're placing a completely new tag. This is a one-stop solution for you. You should definitely go about it, and this will help you set up your website and enable remarketing. If you already have Google Analytics tag also, that'll help you. Don't need any other tag. You can create audience list within your analytics account and then import it to AdWords and apply that to the campaign. So that'll also work. And if you have AdWords remarketing tag in place, then there's nothing like it. You're good to go. So guys, any of you who doesn't have the remarketing tag yet, I would recommend go and get your website tag today itself. All right. Okay, so let's see what are we going to discuss today. What are the niche categories that we're going to touch? So we'll discuss about segmenting your prospects, which are basically how you can segment the list, the user list that you have based on certain criterias. Then we'll discuss about bids and ad formats that you should be using in remarketing to get the maximum success out of them. Then we'll discuss about tailoring the ad to reach out to that specific user by different messages. All right. And then we'll discuss about how you can optimize the campaigns through high quality feeds. After discussing all of these, we'll discuss how you can reach to a new segment of users which are qualified. And I mean, you can reach out to new users or new customers. And then we'll look at how you can leverage a search network also with remarketing. All right. Without losing time, let's discuss and jump to our first segment, which is segment your prospects. Okay. So as we discussed, this is nothing but segmenting your user list. Why is it important? Is because people, when they come to your website, they perform different actions, and that is why they are very different as to how you should be reaching out to them. Segmenting your user list would help you reach out to them with different ad groups, different campaigns, and different messages, more importantly. As I mentioned, that these users have performed different actions on your website, and that is why different messages are recommended. So for example, let's say you have an e-commerce website and you have a lot of categories there. So homepage visitors would be a really broad category, and that is why the message that you would want to, or let's say the ad text also that you would want to display to them would be a little broad in nature. For example, let's say a festive season sale is on, don't miss out on great deals. Okay, so one quick tip also for you guys here. Since we're talking about holiday season and festive season, always try and include words like festive season sale, holiday bonanza, festive discount, words like these, because it's all about capitalizing on this particular occasion and letting them know that you have different discounts going on and special discounts which are aligned to this holiday season, right? So let's say, so we discussed about homepage visitors. So it's going to be a broad message that you're going to convey to them, though that message would include that, okay, we have great deals going on. Now, let's say you have different categories also on your page, let's say apparels or jewelry or cosmetics. So what you can do is you can segment your list based on category page visitors and then reach out to them with messages like heavy discount on apparels, grab now. All right. Now, what this is doing is you're just going a little more specific into the nature of the message, though it is still a little broad, right? This is so if you notice, we're going to be going from a broad nature to a very specific nature, and also that will help us improve and go touch the highest level of conversion likelihood here. Okay. So after category page visitors, how you can segment your list is also by, let's say, if somebody has been on your website and visited specific products or like been to product pages, you can segment those users as well. Now the message or the ad text becomes a little more specific here, mentioning that the discount, let's say, goes up to 50% on most of the items in this category. grab before it's too late. Now you're also putting up a time, this thing that just grab before it's too late. So now this gives the user an alert that, okay, some heavy discounts are going on and I need to probably get into the website and perform that action. And that is exactly what we want, right? um, Apart from these three category lists, we have two other lists which are actually the most important ones. One is cart abandoners and the other one is past converters. So cart abandoners are those people who are, I mean, you know that they are really interested in your product, those specific products that they have in the cart, and then they didn't perform the purchase, right? So the message that you should reach out to them with is, let's say, put up a time constraint there. For example, offer lasts in an hour, hurry up. This will prompt them to get on your website as soon as possible, carry out and perform and complete that particular purchase, right, that they were doing. So this is actually a best practice to include that time constraint there in your message. When we talk about past converters, this is the final list that we have. Um, these are the people whom you know that, I mean, you know the user behavior, okay, for them, as they have been interacting with your brand, they have carried out a purchase on your website, and that is why it is actually a little easy to get back those users on your website. The message that you will be using is not going to be very, very specific, but um, about products that they have already viewed. So, for example, let's say you know that these people were they carried out a purchase in, let's say, a jewelry section. So you'll reach out to them and say, heavy or festive discounts on jewelry and similar products, check it out right now. All right. So this is how you can probably reach out and segment your user list. This will help you reach out to the people with different messages, and also increase the likelihood of you getting conversion and manage your account a little better than before. All right. So this was about creating remarketing list and how you can benefit from it. The other section is, and right now we're going to discuss about bids and ad formats, how you can and what kind of ad format and bid strategies you should use to get the maximum success out of your campaigns. All right. Okay. So when talking about ad formats, it's a very simple rule that you're going to follow, is that have each and every ad format that is available to you. Secondly, have them in all the ad sizes that you have. Now, why I'm mentioning this is, we don't really want a scenario where, let's say, I mean, there was a very high chance of you getting a conversion, but you couldn't get that because the size which was eligible to run, you didn't have that size, right? We don't want that to happen, do we? We don't, right? So let's avoid this situation and keep all the ad formats in our campaign, and also all the ad sizes. This will help us reach out to the audience exactly at the right time. Okay, so the ad formats available are image ads, mobile sizes. This is all about sizes. You can use HTML5 ads. You can even include text ads, even if you're running display campaign. That actually helps. All right. Okay, so now we have bid strategies for you. The bid strategies that you should be using. We have our own Google real-time bidder, which is the conversion optimizer that we call it, the target CPA. Why it is recommended is because when we talk about holiday season, the only thing that comes to our mind is, let's say, conversions, right, or a sale. So target CPA actually helps us, or the AdWords system, to analyze a lot of signals about user behavior, and whether there is a very high likelihood of getting a conversion or not. And based on that, it decides your bids. Um, so, for example, let's say you have manual bids in hand. So, at that point of time, it only decides whether the bids are sufficient for the ad to appear or not. All right. Now, what we want when we talk about conversion is a lot of other things, user behavior, and a lot of other signals as well. So when we talk about conversion optimizer, it optimizes as high as 20 signals at one time. For example, location, what's the location of that person, what device that person is using, browser, which browser that person is using, operating system, what's the time of the day, what are its interests, based on what kind of past websites that person has been visiting, what is the last advertiser site visit that has happened, or what's the type of ad creative that is appearing, or what's the age and gender, and what I mean, all the other things, right? So all these things are very important in terms of getting conversions and getting and setting the bid. So conversion optimizer analyzes all these signals, which are really hard to do that manually, and then sets your bid. All right, so I have three quick tips for you when we talk about using CPA. So the first one is, whenever you start your CPA, always ensure that you're setting your targets at a level that matches your historical data. um, why this is important is because if you set a target which is too aggressive, it can affect the volume and create big swings in weekly spend and trends that you get for your campaign. All right, so always ensure that it matches historical data. For example, if you have 10 conversions right now and you see that the cost per conversion is coming out to be 200, 300, even if it's high, let's set it for 200, 300. Conversion optimizer will try and reduce it and get you more conversions within that, and then we can probably go ahead and make the changes later. The second tip is, let the conversion optimizer run for at least 2-3 weeks on its own. So if you have the conversion optimizer target CPA set up as your bid strategy, let it run for 2-3 weeks, because it runs on an algorithm and that actually needs time to set and adjust your targets and stabilize the performance of the campaign. Don't make major changes to your campaign, because then it resets the algorithm again and again. Like, we don't want to lose out on 2-3 weeks, right? If we have spent 2-3 weeks, we would want to get something out of them. So let it run for 2-3 weeks and then only adjust your the target CPS. Thirdly, if you have enough data, you have target CPA running for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you are monitoring performance, then adjust the target CPA as you need it. If you want to lower it down, you can lower it down, but as a thumb rule, please allow a 1 week buffer in between while adjusting your CPS. Because as I mentioned, that it runs on an algorithm. If you make very frequent changes, it can affect your campaign performance, and we don't want that to happen, right? Okay. The next segment is tailor ad to that specific user. Before we discuss, guys, as I mentioned in the starting of the session also, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment. We're going to be answering them live for you. So any doubts that you have, please feel free to shoot the questions at us. All right. Okay. So tailor ad to that specific user is nothing but going one step ahead in remarketing, which is dynamic remarketing. Now, what dynamic remarketing allows us to do is not only reach out to that particular user who have been to your website, but with the actual offer or the product that they viewed previously. All right. And if you we have actually observed that if we reach out to the customers who have viewed your ad with the actual offers that they viewed previously, or similar offers, they are more likely to return on your website and complete that purchase. And we have seen that people who switch from remarketing to dynamic remarketing see a conversion rate going twofolds. Then they also see a decrease in the target CPAs up to a 60%. Both of them are really huge numbers. And obviously, during this holiday season, we would want this thing to happen to our campaigns and get all those conversions and even get a decrease in the target CPAs that we set. All right, so that increases the return on investment at the end of the day, because it's always about how much returns you're getting out of your uh, campaigns, right? Okay, so while talking about dynamic remarketing, we know that feeds are really important part of dynamic remarketing, and hence, when we talk about optimizing the remarketing campaigns or dynamic remarketing campaigns, it is really very important to optimize them and have high quality feeds. So, some quick tips for you. So, whenever so you have two options basically. There's one Google Merchant Center, which is for the retail vertical to create the feeds. For all other verticals, we have business data, which is within the AdWords campaign. You can access it through the shared library and upload the feed there, and it'll be good to go. Feeds are really important because whatever information that we show to the user through the ad and the product that they viewed is pulled out from the feed only, right? Try So when we talk about high quality feed, try having a very crisp description, a very good title that tells the user what exactly you're trying to say. I've seen people using, let's say, descriptions which are page long, which is not very recommended. Try having it very short and crisp. By short, I don't really mean have it a one-liner, but keep it limited to let's say a 3-4 lines um, about your product and how what are the benefits of the product, and that's about it. Um, why I'm mentioning this is because people who are using Google Merchant Center, right? They'll also observe that if you have a page long feed description, there's more likelihood that the product can get disapproved because the system might not be able to read or analyze the full description of yours, and we don't want that to happen at this point of time, because each and every product is very critical to us. We want all of them to run, we want all of them to be approved, so that we can promote them and get on our conversions, even if it's just one or two through that product. All right, so always ensure that you have your feeds in place. The title, description, and all the other attributes that you have in your feed are updated. Very, very important for dynamic remarketing campaigns. All right, okay, let's look at what do we have in the next segment. We have expand to reach new customers. Okay, so now we have already discussed about what we should do with remarketing, what we should do with dynamic remarketing. What if I want to reach out to new people? What if I want to increase my reach, right? Please don't worry, guys. We have an option for that also. We have a feature which is similar audiences. So these are auto-populated lists which you get in your shared library based on the rule-based list that you have created. Um, for example, with similar audiences comes auto targeting also. Both of them are really great in terms of if you have target CPAs. These similar audience and auto targeting target users and have users which have been, let's say, performing similar actions over the internet. Let's say visiting similar websites, um, viewing similar products, or very have similar interests, based on the list that you have, the users that you have in your list. That is why they are more qualified in nature in terms of reaching out to a new segment of people. These are very, very highly qualified people. So you can, if you want to increase the reach and a broader your remarketing expansion, you can definitely go ahead with a similar audience or auto targeting. Those similar audiences offer a better and broader remarketing expansion than the auto targeting. Both of them can run on CPA and can get you really good results. If you want very similar performance to the remarketing campaigns that are running, you can go with auto targeting, because it's a little restricted in nature as compared to similar audiences. All right, okay, so we've already discussed about how you should go about it and everything, but let's look at how and whether this thing has actually created a difference in anyone's campaign or not. All right. So we have an example for you. So we have Lewis Hotel Resorts. These people run a luxury hotel chain in US and Canada, and have been advertising with Google from a very long period of time. So at one point of time, their goal was to expand and reach to more qualified people using similar and people who have similar interest to the current users that they have. All right. What approach they followed was they tested similar audiences with remarketing and boosted their budget by some margin, and the results that they got were insane. So they got 57% increase in booking, 60% increase in revenue, and a 9% these are some numbers. So this holiday season, if you want to reach out to new people, which is actually something that you should look out for, and you can use similar audiences. You don't need to worry about whether these people are going to be relevant or not, because they will be, since they are analyzed based on the list that you already have, and the actions that they have been performing all over the internet. All right. Okay. um Okay, that was quick. Okay, we have another option for you: in market audiences for remarketing. Now, in market audiences is a little broad in nature, though it can also help you expand to new customers. Um, so, in your interest in remarketing targeting, you get an in market audience list, which are based on the interest categories. So, for example, if you have an apparel brand, you can exactly choose what exact for based on what interest do you want to target people. For example, uh, if you want to target only people who are interested in formal wear, you can do that. If you want to, let's say, if you have a fashion brand, if you want to target people who are interested in handbags, or let's say particular perfume or fragrances, you can select the exact categories. These are people who have been viewing similar products based on the category that you have chosen, or have been visiting these websites very frequently. All right. In market audiences also a very qualified traffic, because these are also based on interest, this thing, and they'll help you drive more sales, since the traffic is very relevant, right? So you can create, what I would recommend is create a separate campaign or ad group for audiences. Target the most relevant section that you see. Don't really add any additional targeting, because that will be limiting the targeting very much, and that might result into losing out on the people that you want to reach out on. Okay, cool. So we have actually reached the last segment of our session, which is how you can leverage the search network with remarketing. We call it remarketing list for search ads. Why is it so important? This is important because it combines two very powerful signals of intent, which is search and site visitors. So, people who have come to, let's say, your website and through your ad from a remarketing list for search ads, they are already familiar with your product, they're already familiar with your brand. These audiences are of very high converting value, because they've come through search, they're actually looking out for those products, right? So though these two things actually make RLSA a very powerful tool. And very honestly, this has become a necessity in today's time of, if you have a search network campaign and looking out for conversion, because you really don't want to lose out on conversions from people who know about your brand and looking out for things that you sell, right? This is the easiest that this is the easiest targeting that you can set up and get the users on your website. All right. And the setup, this thing is also very easy. In case you face any issues regarding that, just feel free to comment, as I mentioned, or reach out to our support team. Okay, so I have a few suggestions for you as far as RLSA is concerned, if you go ahead and apply that to your campaign. Okay, so always keep your targeting very broad when we talk about RLSA, be it your keywords or match type that you use. So for example, in your regular campaign, if you use keywords like skater dresses or short dresses in phrase match, exact match, or a broad match modifier for that matter, you can, in your RLSA campaign, limit it to a broad match type, and then make those keywords more broad in nature. So for example, for skater dresses, you can have dresses, short dresses, or any other kind of dresses. You can have trendy dresses. So the person, if he's looking out for dresses, knows about, been to your website before, you can, I mean, your ad is going to be eligible to be shown to them. So broader targeting is actually very effective since RLSA traffic is more qualified. That's what we discussed, right? Okay. So how many of you know about what India shopping, what India Time shopping is? Okay. So India Time shopping is actually a pioneer and belong to Times Group. They actually sell a lot of products on their website, be it mobile, apparels, books, and many other products, right? So at one point of time, they were also facing issues with their return on investment, and they wanted to improve their return on investment through paid search, and without really losing the scale that they were performing. So they didn't want to decrease the campaign budgets or something like that, because that would decrease the clicks and impressions, so and decrease the scale that they are reaching out to people. So what they did was, they thought about improving the ad rank for returning users, so that they can get conversions through them and improve the return on investment. So the things that they adopted was, they replicated all the active search campaigns that they had, layered all the campaigns that they replicated with all the keywords that they had into broad match modifier, and applied the largest audience list that they had in it, let's say an all visitor list. Okay. Then they increase the bids by 50% on their campaigns on RLSA, so that that improves the ad rank. And the results that they saw were tremendous. So the conversion rate actually increased by 220%. CTR increased by a 50%. CPA decreased by 50%, and believe believe you me, 15% of all the conversions that they were getting were from RLSA in the past 90 days. Whoa. So this is something that, I mean, we definitely would want in our campaigns also. So as I mentioned, RLSA is something which is very basic these days, and you should definitely have it. If you don't have it till now, please try and implement it within a few campaigns at least, so that you can see the results that RLSA can get. Um, about all the strategies and the tips that we discussed, it's really important to see, to go back and see whether we are actually implementing them, if we are, whether we are following the best practices or not. Because all these things, when we talk about, let's say, a CPA also, or RLSA, it's very important how you target people, what kind of bids you have set up, what kind of ad formats you're using, right? Since all of them combined give you the results, it's not just one feature, all of them combined give you the result. All right. So very important, you should look out for. All right, guys. Thank you very much. This was about it. In a couple of hours, you may also be receiving an email, a feedback email. Please do feel free to provide us with your feedback. That'll help us get back to you with more new content and better on our this thing. And please do let us know if you have any questions. Reach out to our support team. If comment on our page, we'll have all the questions answered for you. Let's look at what's in store for you next. So we have the next session coming up on 29th September at 3 p.m. sharp, which is going to be about shopping, how you can connect with your shoppers in this festive season. Please do dial in for that. And thank you very much for joining. See you guys. Hope you found this one beneficial. Thank you.